Hi everyone. Today for math, we are going to be moving on to lesson 3.2, which is subtracting unlike fractions. This lesson is going to be really similar to lesson 3.1. So you're really just going to be taking everything that we worked on in 3.1 and applying it to this lesson, but now subtracting. So I'm going to walk us through this problem right here that we have, which is 2/3 minus 1/5. Just to review, we know these are unlike fractions because the denominators are different. So in order to subtract them, we need to make it so that they have the same denominators, making them like fractions. So our very first step, like we have done with adding unlike fractions, is to take our denominators, 3 and 5, and list out the multiples of those denominators. Like always, make sure you are writing down this example in your notes so that when it is time for you to go and do your independent practice, you have an example to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and list my multiples. I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Then I'm going to go for my multiples of 5. So I have 5, 10, 15, and I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop because I'm listing those multiples until I see a multiple that is in both of those lists. So I'm looking for my least common multiple, okay, or LCM, which means I'm looking for a multiple that's in both lists, and least meaning it's the smallest of those common multiples. So that would be, out of both of those lists, I see a 15. That is going to be my least common multiple. So I can write that right here. Now, I'm looking for that because I'm using that to now make these fractions like, and I'm going to use my least common multiple to now make it into equivalent fractions, making these two fractions, 2/3 and 1/5, into equivalent fractions, but now having that denominator of 15. So I'm going to set up my equivalent fractions over on the right of my workspace. So I have 2/3, and I'm making it into an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 15. And 1/5, same thing, making an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 15. So I'll start with 2/3. Like we did in the past, I always want to look at my denominators and think, what do I multiply 3 by to get to 15? So I know 3 times 5 gets me 15. Golden rule with fractions, whatever I do to my denominator, I need to do to my numerator. So I'm going to also multiply 2 times 5 to get me a numerator of 10. Now I'm going to look to my next fraction, 1/5. Same thing, I'm going to think, what do I multiply 5 by to get to 15? 5 times 3 is 15. Do the same thing to my numerators. 1 times 3 is 3. Now notice these fractions are now like because they have the same denominators. They are the exact same fractions. They're equivalent, so they're the same value. They're just now broken up into smaller pieces. So if this was a pizza, instead of having it broken up into 3 pieces, it's now broken up into 15 pieces, but I would still have the same amount of pizza to eat. The same applies for 1/5. Same value, just broken into smaller pieces. Now I can go right ahead and I can subtract. I'm just going to write it again over on this side so it's a little more clear. So I have 10/15 minus 3/15. Okay, and my final answer is going to be 7/15. Okay, now our next step, again, very similar to 3.1, we're going to now estimate the difference of this fraction problem using benchmarks, just like we did before when we were estimating the sums. So to review, our benchmarks that we use when we're estimating with fractions are 0, 1/2, and 1/2. So those are the numbers that we're always looking at, and for every fraction we're working with, we're thinking, what is this fraction closest to? Is it closest to 0, 1/2, or 1 whole? So for 2/3, I'm going to make a number line, and I'm going to think about this number line in thirds. So I have 0 in thirds would be 0/3. A whole in thirds would be 3/3. And then a half in thirds, it's not a nice even number, so it's not going to be a whole number. But we know if I take 3 and I split it in half, it's going to be somewhere between 1 and 2. If I take a number line and I'm working my way from 0 to 3 on either end and moving my fingers, starting at 0 on one end and 3 on the other and jumping in, it would be here's 2 and 1, and then it would be somewhere right in the middle. So it would be about 1 1/2. So I know this halfway point is 1.5 thirds. So for 2/3, what I want to think of is 2/3 closest to 0? Is it closest to 1/2? Or is it closest to 1 whole? I'm going to say it's closest to 1/2 because it's really only a half away from this midway point. So I'm going to replace 2/3 with 1/2. Okay. Now I'm going to erase my number line with thirds and now think about it in terms of fifths. Okay, so if I have a number line in fifths and I'm thinking about these benchmarks, 0 in fifths would be 0/5. 1 whole in fifths would be 5/5. Okay, and then for that halfway point again, it's not a nice even number, so I'm going to try and think about if I have a number line that I can draw out, drew another one. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm working my way from the outside in. So if I have one finger on the 0 and one finger on the 5, I'm going to one by one jump my way to the middle to find that halfway point. So here's one jump, I'd be at 1, jump my other finger to the 4, jump to the 3, jump this finger to the 2. So it's going to end up being about halfway is right in between the 2 and the 3. So my 1/2 in fifths is 2.5 fifths. So I'm now thinking, is 1/5 closest to 0, 1/2, or 1 whole? Definitely going to be closest to that 0. So I'm going to replace 1/5 with 0. Now I can go ahead and I'm going to erase this to give us more room. Now I can go ahead and subtract those benchmarks. And I should be able to do this mentally. That's the whole point. So now I have 1/2. I'm going to take away 0. My estimated answer is 1/2.